Good evening and welcome to one and all present here. Switch India is a pan India healthcare organization of 1500 plus medical professionals all across 8 states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Karnataka, working on various healthcare related social activities, including conducting free health checkup camps, working on physical and mental health, spreading awareness on various medical conditions, and so forth. Through Switch India, we present to you the series of sessions called Stepping Out of PT School and Answer to What After Graduation. For all the physiotherapists to be, in order to explore and know more about the latest options available in your field from the ones who are currently practicing them. The topics of the series are divided into 4 sections for 4 weeks. In the first weeks, we already had our speakers guiding us on how one can be able to pursue their future studies in foreign countries like UK, Canada, Australia, and US, as well as the options that will be available for jobs in that country or in India. In case you have missed it, then you may check the videos uploaded on our channel. Have you decided what's going to be your specialization field for PG? While studying for my final year, I've always wondered which field shall I pursue my master's in. I'm always so confused as to choose musculoskeletal or community PT. Neuro and cardiorespy sound interesting, while oncophysiotherapy is totally new for me. Don't you face a similar problem? In this week, being the second week for our series, we'll have our guidance from our presenters about the scope and recent options available in specialization in various fields post UG. Once we are done with the studies, begins the actual exam. So, have you decided which work setup would be the best for you? Do you think working in a hospital would be good, or do you wish to set up your own clinic? Many of y'all would be great researchers, and many can become amazing teachers. In order to clarify your doubts on these sectors, we have the third week of our sessions in which our speakers who are having an experience of working in that field will guide us regarding the advantages and challenges that we could face in each of them. The fourth week is all about the scope and current scenario of physiotherapy in today's world and how, because of COVID 19, the situation has changed in general and how about telerehab is nowadays going well. We hope these sessions will be very beneficial for each one of you. Beginning with our second section about specializations options post UG, we present our first talk for this series, choosing musculoskeletal physiotherapy for PG. I'd request all the participants to keep putting your questions in the live chat option below and let us know your views in the comment section. Your questions will be addressed towards the end of the session. I'd like to welcome our honorable speaker for today, Dr. Divya Parmar. Dr. Divya Parmar is a rank holder in Bachelor's of Physiotherapy from LTMMC Mumbai and has a postgraduate in musculoskeletal physiotherapy from Sancheti College of Physiotherapy, Pune. She is a hardworking and enthusiastic physiotherapist with her special interests lying in shoulder and trauma management. She has gained experience by working in renowned clinics and in Mumbai and Pune and currently practices with a strong will towards gaining functional improvement in patient status and gaining patient satisfaction. She was awarded the second prize in the National Poster Presentation Conference for her work on Pilates. She is certified in practicing NDS and kinetic control. Welcome to our channel, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
So, first of all, we'd like to know what is your story that why you chose this particular specialty.
Okay, so I always kind of had an inclination towards orthopedics since third year of my UG. I love to attend the surgeries done. I have attended during my UG as well as my PG. So, and also in my fourth year in my internship, I used to wait for the MSK postings specifically. So I used to see very immediate results after specific techniques, which used to amaze me, and I really love that. So I was very sure while giving my entrance for masters that I want to go for MSK, that is musculoskeletal.
Great, great. So, ma'am, how's the patient exposure in this particular field?
Okay, so when it comes to patient exposure, nowadays everyone from their childhood to their whole lifespan, everyone experiences some sort of back pain or neck pain or knee pain or something like that. And nowadays, as the youth is getting more addicted to cell phone and devices and other things, our posture, our ergonomics are getting bad. And because of that, the musculoskeletal issues are rising up. So we have a great, huge patient exposure. There are many patients which we can see day to day life as well. So, yeah. Uh, um, Trupti?
Extremely sorry for the interruption. So, ma'am, we'd like to know about the patient exposure in musculoskeletal physiotherapy.
Okay, so as I said earlier, there's a huge patient exposure because each one of us throughout our lifespan, we all experience some kind of neck ache or backache or knee pain, everything like that. And even the youths are getting more addicted to smartphones and other devices. So because of that, they have a bad ergonomic and bad posture, and that leads to more musculoskeletal issues. So yes, and after that we have a lot of trauma patients also because of accidents and everything. We have fractures, so those also come under the musculoskeletal issues. And even the geriatric population, as in when we get older, we degenerate. Our there's some kind of degeneration of our joints and everything. So again, that falls under musculoskeletal. So yes, there is a huge patient exposure in this field to work upon.
That's really amazing. So, ma'am, what would be the scope for jobs after PG? Like, what could be a possible workstation?
Okay, so after your PG, you could work in collaboration with hospitals or some private clinic, or you can open up your own clinic for that sake. You can also work with some orthopedic. And now you can work in corporate sectors as well under some company. There's also a chance for acads, those who are interested in teaching and everything, or research work. So yeah, and also freelancing is always an option. So all these are the options which you can explore and get yourself into.
Great, great. So, ma'am, in case someone wants to pursue musculoskeletal physiotherapy, so what all
Hmm.
characteristics should be there in that? Like, what all characteristics should be required to excel in this field?
Okay. So, firstly, you need a very good observation as soon as the patient enters your clinic or room of that. Secondly, you should have a very good clinical knowledge. Only theoretical knowledge is not enough, and clinical knowledge will always come with experience. The more number of patients you see, the more number of cases you discuss. So, like that, you will gain more knowledge. Also, your hands on skills should be very good. Then patient satisfaction is also one of the things. Like when the patient is satisfied, they tell to another patients, and then your scope also increases. And apart from that, I always believe that whenever you are in doubt, like there are few challenging cases over here, so whenever you are in doubt, you should discuss more. So when you discuss with your seniors, etc., there's an exchange of knowledge happening, and you build more communication skills and more contacts, which helps you to excel more in this field. So yeah.
Great, great. So, what should one look at while selecting a college for PG in musculoskeletal physiotherapy?
Okay. So, when you want to choose a college, I will always suggest choose a college with apart from your UG college. Matlab, the UG and PG college should not be same, so that you get another exposure of the patients, teachers, and everything. After all, it is your effort which you have to put in. You should always be on your tiptoes and pro to take cases, and do more case presentations, more research work. There should always be evidence based practice. So you should select college likewise, which are more into clinical, more patient exposure, which helps you to learn more. So yeah.
Right, that was really thoughtful. So, ma'am, could you please guide us on what all challenges can one face in this particular field?
Challenges per se, um, when uh, when in case you want to set up your own clinic, that might be little challenging initially, because it takes a good amount of time, to get yourself well recognized and well known in that area. So you need to have good contacts, good communication skills. Your work has to be very nice, so that the patients are satisfied, and that's how the word spreads. Also, one more challenge is, there is some percentage of people who think that modalities, that machines are just physiotherapy. Matlab, that is all about physiotherapy. So they feel कि now I have pain, so मुझे machine लगाओ. So that is one challenge. You have to explain the patient, you have to counsel the patient. So yeah, these two things I guess are what.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I was wondering that what kind of patients do we actually treat in this particular field?
Okay. So there are a lot of patients from traumatic patients, like those who have fractures, etc. Secondly, we have joint replacement rehabilitation. Then we have spinal surgeries, deformity corrections, also degenerative patients. Matlab, after the degeneration of spine, you have low back pain or neck pain, cervical spine, then lumbar spondylosis, etc. Arthritic changes, knee pain you have. Also, I feel little overlaps with others like the sports. If there are few set of people who are not professionally into sports, but as a passion or as a leisure activity, they do. So they land up into few injuries. So we have to tackle those sports injuries as well. Also in geriatric population also we have, in pediatric population also we have deformity correction like CTEV or torticollis or something like that. So a variety of patients and variety of cases.
So, ma'am, what would be like, what is the people's perception about this particular specialty?
um the perception of the people is really changing. Now they are knowing the importance of physiotherapy, especially after the lockdown many people have had issues like neck pain, and because of the wrong way of lifting weights and everything at home, they have had injuries. So now when they go to a physiotherapist, they know the importance of it. So there is more awareness in people. But as I said, like 5 to 10% of the people who are yet not aware completely of physiotherapy, they think that machine is the only thing that will make them better. But I don't know what to say about it. But yeah, in those patients you have to counsel them more and make them understand that it's not just modalities, it is more of exercises, functional training, postural training, and there are a lot of preventive things also we do to make the person fit and fine. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am, we really need to be careful about this thing. So, ma'am,
Yeah.
are there any additional courses or workshops that would help one excel in this particular field?
Yes, definitely. Definitely workshops which include joint mobilization techniques or myofascial release techniques, then the new concepts like kinetic control and myofascial meridian lines and neurodynamics, taping, dry needling. All these workshops are very helpful in future, but I would suggest, in my opinion, that you should do these workshops only after or in your fourth year and internship and in your PG when you're able to practice. Otherwise what happens, you've done a workshop and then if you're not practicing it hands on, you're not practicing it clinically, not really using it, then the knowledge also slowly fades off. Like if you are getting 100% of the workshop, you lose maybe 15-20% of it. So for all the particular specific things, you need to apply it. So I will always suggest the UGs to do these workshops in their internship or after that.
Great, great. So, ma'am, we'd like to know any experience that you would like to share with all of us.
Experience as such, my experience has always been great. In my UG college, I had a huge patient exposure. We had learned how to manage so much of load because it was a government hospital. And I always used to like working with clinics. So after my fourth year, immediately I joined a clinic in the evening. Even after in my PG, I used to be in a clinic in the evenings. So also those clinics helped me, and my PG also, that it was a private hospital, so it gave me a different exposure and it was great. And right now also, as I'm working in a hospital, that's also amazing. So my experience has always been good. There are always little bit ups and downs with patients, but yeah, when the patient says that now my pain is a little better and I'm feeling better, I'm able to do better, those are the golden words I always am happy to hear. I just wait for that. So yeah.
That's really inspiring, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, we just quickly go through the questions in comment section, if any.
Okay. um, I'm not able to see any comments as such. So
I'd request all the participants that in case you all have any questions, then you can put them up in the comment section.
Um, so there are questions like, what is the scope of musculoskeletal physiotherapy in India? So as I mentioned, there are a lot of patients we get from traumatic to degenerative. So there is a good scope of physiotherapy in India, but it definitely depends on which part of India you are, like a metropolitan city or the interiors of India. So yes, if you are working in a good hospital, or you are working in a clinic or your own also, you have to make people aware of it first, and definitely it is going to work, because there are a lot of patients, lot of patients over there. We have a second question. Do we have to give interviews or any type of exam to get job in hospital? Yes, we do have to give interviews. So whichever hospital you want to join, you can email them the HR, or you can see what is on their site, and definitely they call you back and you have to go through an interview. Some hospitals have only one round, some hospitals have 2 3 rounds, so you have to clear that and then you are in. I'll just check if we have other. um yeah, so the can you please elaborate about the jobs in corporate sector and teaching institute? So in corporate sector, like, there are few companies which hire physiotherapists. So they have set number of hours in which you have to work, and you have to treat their own the patients, means the employees of that company. So yes, you can also apply. You can search online. You have to do a little bit of research about it, and then you can apply. And in teaching institutes, like all the teaching colleges of physiotherapy, also you can apply the same. In teaching, it usually works like, you have few hours of and few hours of teaching, wherein you have to give lectures and everything. So we'll go on to the next question. Many universities offer MPT in India. So how can we identify that which university MPT is valuable or not, as there are some fake universities too? Yes, I agree. So basically, there is something called distance education also, which few colleges are offering, but I don't know how much that is, that will help you to gain knowledge at a MPT level, because the clinical practice is very, very important. Distance education may you cannot gain that clinical knowledge. Also, you have to do a lot of research when you are treating a patient. Like when I am treating a patient, I was treating a patient in my MPT level, I used to go back home, I used to read articles on it, that what will help my patient, what are the recent advances, and I used to apply. So yes, you have to identify universities which have at least on campus thing and not offline degrees. So can you please list some colleges which would be good for doing PG in musculoskeletal physiotherapy? Yes, I could list few, but it depends upon you, where you are staying, like in which city. I can tell about Mumbai. As I said, that I would always prefer the UG and the PG college to be different, so that you get some different exposure of patients and everything else. So in Mumbai, as I had worked in the government hospital, that is LTMMC, I chose Sancheti as my PG college, which was a private college, and Sancheti is very well known for orthopedics. It is the only purely orthopedic hospital. So it had a variety of cases and patient exposure. So yeah, and there are many other colleges also. It also depends upon where you are staying, what you want, like travel, if traveling is a problem for you or no, you want the college to be nearby, that is more convenient, or you are okay with the college being far away, but you know you those all things matter as well. So the next question is, ma'am, can you tell some government colleges for PG in Maharashtra? I guess there are only 4 government colleges, which is KEM, Sion, Nair, which are in Mumbai, and Nagpur, which is in Nagpur. Uh, So Nagpur is also Nagpur Government College or something like that. I don't know the name, but yeah, you can just search. Can we work in government hospital as we have our private clinic? Yeah, you can apply in government hospital. They have certain criteria. If you fulfill that criteria, you can work. But I don't know if it is, official or no, it is allowed or no to work in a government hospital and have your private clinic. But many people do. So I'm not really very sure about that. But the best thing, if you want to choose a college or a place where you want to work, you are having an inclination towards it, you are keen to work in that university, you should always ask the people who are there in the university. Like, if I wanted to do I wanted to do my masters in Sancheti, I had contacted few students who had passed out from Sancheti to know their reviews about the college. If I want to work in a hospital, any hospital for that sake, right now I'm working in Kokilaben, so I will ask people who are in Kokilaben to just to know about it more, that will I be able to get in it, and will I be able to adapt in the situation, surroundings and everything like that, the rules, regulation, the working pattern, the lifestyle, work lifestyle, etc. In some cases, UG college is a fresh one, and that result, I don't know, I didn't understand this question. Is NEET PG necessary for admission in MPT? I'm not that sure, because during my time we had MHT CET, so I'm not sure about NEET PG. In some cases, the UG college is new one, and it results in less patient exposure at UG. It can be stressful as well as the academically hampering how students can overcome this deficiency. So even if the cases are less in your UG college, what you can do, if there is one case, any case, ONE का case hai, read about it, read the books which you have in your hand, then go talk to your seniors. That college must be having PG students. Talk to your PGs, discuss that case, go to your teachers, ask them question, ma'am, if the case was like this, the range was more than this, how would we change our treatment protocol, how would this change, how will this exercise benefit? So you make a modification, and you have to always approach the teacher or the master student. They will definitely help you. If you show interest, they will definitely show interest. So yes, which entrance exam are we supposed to give for PG? As I said, during my time we had MHT CET. I'm not sure about the NEET. Should we do MPT immediately after BPT or do clinics in between for better knowledge? What would be better? This is also a personal choice, I would say, but I would always go for doing MPT immediately after BPT, because what happens, you are in one flow of the knowledge. After BPT, if you do your clinics, a little bit lack in theoretical knowledge will be there, because when we are working in clinics, we lose that touch of books. So yes, MPT immediately would be very good, because you are fresh with your bachelor's knowledge and you are going to just upgrade the knowledge. If you are working in clinics also, that is also good, because you have clinical knowledge, but again you have to go through the books, the UG books as well, to just brush up a little bit. So yeah, but after all, it is your choice. If you want to do clinics and then MPT, again it's your choice. Ma'am, can we work just after completing BPT? Yeah, you can work just after completing your BPT, but MPT is very much required and necessary these days, because there is a lot of which you learn in master's program. You learn how to see a case with evidence-based practice. That is what we lack in our BPT. So masters teaches us to go with the recent changes, the recent updates and everything. So I guess masters is very much necessary. Is there any other entrance exam for MPT? Again, the same question. Ma'am, what is different in musculoskeletal and other MPT courses? So musculoskeletal deals with all the things which I told you: trauma, spinal issues, degenerative changes and everything. Sports is very specific about the players. Like, if I'm treating a sports person who is into swimming. So I have to see the biomechanics of which of the patient while swimming, and that is how my protocol, my treatment changes. Like the strength, the flexibility, and everything which is needed for a swimmer is different than a normal day-to-day person which we see, normal person. So that is how it is different, musculo and sports. Then again, neuro is definitely different. In neuro, you need a lot of patience, a lot of proper handling, and it is based on a lot many things which a neurotherapist will be able to explain you better, and the subsequent lectures will help you. Can you give us some reviews about Sancheti? How is the patient exposure and clinical techniques used over there? Sancheti is awesome. It is really very good. I'm not appreciating because I have been in Sancheti. I'm really glad to be a part of Sancheti. You will see all kind of patients over there in Sancheti, like in the IPD as well as the OPD. And the clinical techniques, the teachers are always upon evidence-based practices. We have a lot of case presentations, and we are updated with what is going on new. So yes, Sancheti is great. For MPD entrance NEET, how much we have to score? I don't know about NEET really. I'm really sorry, but you can ask the recently passed out batch who is going to enter into MPT. So they'll be having more of knowledge, or your immediate seniors. So yeah, I guess I've covered all the comments and questions. Is there anything else which I need to answer? Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Divya, for such an insightful session. This will
Uh,
definitely guide us throughout our journey to pursue musculoskeletal physiotherapy in our post graduation. Thank you to all our promotional partners, that is all about physiotherapy, to help us spread a word about this series. Thank you to all the participants, and hope you all will have a clearer idea on how to plan your future in the field of MSK. Do let us know your reviews and feedbacks in the comment section. In case your questions are not yet answered or do you have any more doubts, you can let us know in the comment section below and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Also, if you found this session useful, do like our video, share it with whomsoever you feel it's going to be beneficial, subscribe to our channel, and also press on the bell icon below to get regular updates for many more such insightful sessions to come. So see you all in the next session on choosing sports physiotherapy as your option for PG, which will be live on YouTube on our channel on 9th of November, the same time, 7:30 p.m. This was your host for today, Trupti Parekh, signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you.